Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning everyone. My name is Amirah Zahra with student number 20050868083, and in this occasion I would like to explain to you the language change. So the first one, we want to talk about the variation and change. So language varies in three major ways which are interestingly interrelated over time in physical space and socially. All language change has its origins in variation. The possibility of a linguistic change exists as soon as new form develops and begins to be used alongside an existing form. Similarly, a sound change occurs when one sound is replaced in people's speech by another over a period of time, or when a sound disappears. The loss of postvocalic R seems to have begun in the 17th century in the southeast of England, and it is still in progress, since there are areas such as the southwest of England where R is still regularly pronounced. Changes which people are aware of have been described as changes from above. These are changes where people are conscious of their social significance as desirable or prestige features of speech. People evaluate the speech of those who use such features highly. So not all linguistic change involve adapting new forms from outside the speech community, nor do they always involve forms which people are conscious of as prestigious forms. Changes in the pronunciation of vowels are often changed from below, in that there are changes below people's level of conscious awareness. Another meaning refers to a change which spreads from lower social groups upwards through the higher social groups. Such change may or may not be above the level of conscious awareness. Another meaning refers to a change which spreads from lower social groups upwards through the higher social groups. Such change may not be above the level of conscious awareness. The next one, we want to talk about the coyness and coinization. How a new language emerged as a result of contact between people who speak different languages. Sometimes something similar often happens when people who speak different dialects come into contact in monolingual communities. A new dialect or variety emerge, and then this language change process is called coinization, and the result is a koine, a variety which is the result of dialect contact. The coiner will typically have some features from each of the contributing dialects, with most features typically coming from the dialect of the largest group of speakers. One of these is known as leveling, a process which eliminates market variance. Leveling results in the coiner adopting fewer forms than the range of forms in the source dialects. Another linguistic process associated with coinage is the simplification of different features of categories. Where two groups of speakers from different dialect areas come together, the simpler forms will usually win out. Again, however, social factors are irrelevant. People tend to accommodate to the speech of others if they like, respect, or admire them. And then how do changes spread? So the first one is from group to group. In any speech community, different sets of waves intersect. You belong simultaneously to a particular age group, region, and social group. A change may spread along any of these dimensions and into another group. The next one is from to style to style. In the speech of particular individual, it suggests the change spreads from one style to another, say from a speech to more casual speech, while at the same time it spreads from one individual to another within a social group and subsequently from one social group to another. The last one is from word to word. It seems to be the case that sound change not only spread from one person to another and from one style to another style, they also spread from one word to another. The next one, we want to talk about how do we study language change. So apparent time studies of language change, comparing the speech of people from different age groups, can be useful clue then to language change. This has been called the apparent time method of studying change. Differences between the speech of older people and younger people are interpreted as indications of changes in progress. Language change in real time. The apparent time method of studying language change is a useful shortcut for sociolinguists who generally cannot afford to wait around for 20 years to see what happens in real time. This was a study done in real time, a very reliable method of identifying changes. So there are two way to study. Um the first one is the apparent time method, and the next one is language change in real time. The last one, reasons for language change. So there is three reasons. The first one is social status, whether you're in highly social status or lower social status, gender, between men and women, children and older people, and then interaction and contact between people, like how you contact to the people around you, to your environment and your area. Well, I think that's all from me. Thank you guys for watching, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.